Thank you guys so much for joining me here. Later on today, I will be doing a short video to announce the winners of my giveaway, but I felt like it was really important for me to do this video today. Today, I'm going to talk about how to avoid being scammed when you're purchasing fragrances from individuals in groups or wherever you find these individuals at. Now, I get a lot of emails where a lot of my lovely subscribers ask me, hey, where do I get the deals? Where do I find decants? How can I get cheap bottles? Things like that. And sometimes I'm really reluctant to give out the information just for the simple fact that I don't ever want to be the reason someone got scammed. So there are definitely some things that you can do to prevent this from happening to you. I've noticed lately that a lot of my subscribers have started to join different groups and things like that. And this is especially for people that are new to the fragrance game, new to the fragrance community. This is something that I'm so sick and tired of seeing happen to people that I just want to help people avoid this in any way they can. So, the very first thing that you can do to avoid being scammed when you're purchasing fragrances is pay retail. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the only 100% fail-proof way to avoid being scammed when you are purchasing a fragrance. I can get anything I want pretty much on the gray market, but I still enjoy the experience of going into retail, building a rapport, having a good relationship with the SAs, because guess what? When there's free stuff, they call me. When there's deals, they call me. So this is the only 100% fail-proof way. If you purchase something from Saks or Macy's and it shows up and it's a fake, which is probably not going to happen, they're going to 100% right the wrong. They're going to refund you. If your bottle gets lost, they're going to send it again. If your bottle gets broken, guess what? They're going to send it again. When you're purchasing from individuals, this is not always going to be the case. So the only 100% fail-proof way is to pay retail. The next thing is to use sites that have really strict policies. Really strict policies pertaining to BS. I like Poshmark. You guys hear me talk about buying fragrances on Poshmark all the time. I feel like they have a really strict BS policy. I purchased a fragrance from someone and they were deceptive about the condition of the bottle, even though they had pictures, and they were deceptive about the amount of that was in the bottle. They said it was 75% full. It was less than 50% full. The bottle was scratched up. The bottle was horrible. I got it. I immediately emailed Poshmark and I said, listen, I'm a collector. Excuse me. I display my fragrances. I'm not happy about this. I feel like the seller was deceptive. Poshmark immediately refunded me my money. Now, they asked me to never purchase another fragrance off of Poshmark, but they immediately refunded me my money and they told me I did not have to send the bottle back. Now, I didn't want to keep the bottle, but I didn't lose anything. So there you have it. Now, the next thing is knowing and understanding that something can always go wrong. I just saw a very unfortunate situation where somebody bought a fragrance from someone. They haven't received it because they said the mailman got robbed. The mailman can get robbed. Things can get lost. Things can break. Things can happen. So every time you do this, do it with the understanding that you could lose some money, and only do it with money that you can stand to lose, money that you will not miss. Don't do it with the mortgage money. Don't do it with the light bill money. Every time I click pay now, it's money that I can stand to lose, and I have an understanding in my mind that I may not get what I paid for. It's a game of chance. Also, one thing that you should know is there is an appropriate way to ship fragrances. And from what I understand, fragrances are not supposed to go like on a plane express. So fragrances can explode. And if a fragrance explodes on a plane and something really bad happens, I mean, would you want to be responsible for that? Probably not. That's a tragedy. So there's an appropriate way to actually mail fragrances, and it's really supposed to be ground. However, everybody does it. But if you don't receive your fragrance and you try to file a claim, when you go to the post office and you tell Susie that Creed Aventus was in that box that you were looking for, you are going to be in trouble. Actually, no, you are not going to be in trouble. The seller, the shipper, is going to be in trouble. So they ask you when you're shipping, is this chemicals? Is it perfume? Is there a live person in here? They ask you those things for a reason. So there's an appropriate way to ship fragrances. Now, the next thing is if you are in a group and you see a bottle pop up that you would love to purchase and it's from a person that you have never dealt with before, that you are not familiar with, do a reference check. You can do a reference check on that site. You can go to a specific page where you can reference check people. If you communicate with someone and you say, I'm interested, and they say, okay, pay me now, and you say, wait, I need to do a reference check, and they say, nope, I don't have time, somebody else wants it, let somebody else get scammed. Because if they're not patient enough with you to allow you the time to make yourself comfortable with the fact that you are getting ready to send them some of your hard-earned dollars, you don't need to deal with them anyway. So go on to the next person. I've had people who I was going to do a transaction with, and I said, hey, this is my first time dealing with you. And they said, let me do a reference check on myself. And they will post, hey, how is so-and-so and so-and-so? Or can I get a legit check on myself? And people will chime in. But there's another side to this. Pay attention to this. There's a saying in FredCom that says, everyone's good till they ain't good no more. And that means I have seen where people have done hundreds of transactions with people, hundreds of transactions. And then one day, all in one day, they scam 50 people at the same darn time and pop smoke, and you never see them again. So everyone's good till they ain't good no more. Again, don't do it with the mortgage money. Don't do it with the light bill money. Now, the next thing that you can do, or that you should do, is ask for a batch code, especially if it's on a pricey fragrance. Ask for a photograph of the batch code. Don't just let them type the batch code in and send it to, no, photograph the batch code. Tell them, photograph the bottle, you holding it, and throw up the peace sign in the picture. So that way, you know that this is the bottle that they actually have in their hand, and hopefully that's the bottle they're planning on sending you. Always ask for the batch code, and then you can go and check the batch code for yourself. Now, the next thing is actually the most important thing, and that is use goods and services. Stop paying people with friends and family. I keep saying this. I just did a video in the Fragrance Kings about this, about the 10 things we need to leave behind in the 2019. Stop paying people with friends and family if they ain't your friends and family. Because, listen, if you pay someone with goods and services and you don't receive your goods, then it's an easy situation to deal with. But if you pay people with friends and family and you don't get your merchandise, or they scam you and you go to have a conversation with PayPal, they're going to say, well, we thought that was your cousin. So talk to your auntie about getting your money back, because you paid with friends and family. Pay with goods and services, and do not, never deal with someone who has a problem with you paying them with goods and services. Don't deal with people like that. Anyone who is about their business does not have a problem with you wanting to pay them goods and services. They may ask you to add a few extra dollars, and so what? What have you got to lose? Add the few extra dollars, make yourself comfortable with the whole situation, and lessen the chances that you will be scammed. Goods and services. Stop paying people with friends and family. Now, the next thing is something that I don't do. I don't buy from individuals overseas. I don't really need anything that bad. I will possibly buy from a store overseas, but I will not buy from individuals overseas. Um, I have a major character flaw. I lack patience. So I don't want to even wait that long. I don't want to go through it. Stuff gets caught up in customs sometimes. I ship someone a bottle to Trinidad and we don't know where in the world it is. So just don't buy from individuals overseas. I don't. If you do it, it's your own choice, but I just don't really need anything that bad. And typically, if you find it, if someone has it over there, then someone has it over here. I just recommend everybody buy stuff from individuals in their own country, unless it's someone that you've dealt with or that you know does great business sending stuff from over there to over here. Just don't do it. Now, the last part of this is if it sounds too good to be true, it is. Not it probably is, but it is. If you see brand new, one spray missing, Killian rolling in love, don't be shy, whatever, $20, I would not even take the time out of my day to ask questions, but that's just me. Because if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. People knock off everything. So be very careful. Creed Aventus. If you see a flacon of Creed Aventus for $25 or $50, just keep scrolling. Go on till you find something that makes more sense. I wouldn't even ask questions. I wouldn't ask, why are you selling this so cheap? Every now and again, if it's something that I know people typically sell for like $150 or whatever, and I see someone has it up for $60, I might, because sometimes it's a matter of people just trying to be able to get rid of it immediately. But if it's a huge price difference in what it normally goes for, I don't ask any questions about that because I don't care. So thank you guys so much for listening to me. Just please, I want everybody to get the deals, but just protect yourself. Take the extra 5 minutes that it takes to protect yourself and your money. Thank you guys so much for listening to me. And until I see you shortly,